Every morning, a poor old beggar sat by the roadside, lifting his hands toward the sky. "Dear God," he whispered, "please give me my daily bread." I trust you people passed by and laughed at him, especially one rich man who owned the biggest shop in town. One day, the rich man stopped and said mockingly, "Old man, stop wasting your time. God doesn't feed beggars." The beggar smiled gently and replied, "Maybe not through angels, but he can use anyone, even you." The rich man scoffed and walked away. But one morning, just to prove the beggar wrong, he secretly placed a loaf of bread beside him before dawn. When the beggar woke up and saw the bread, tears filled his eyes. He lifted it high and said, "Thank you, Lord, you never forget your child." Later that day, the rich man returned and laughed again. "Why are you thanking God? I was the one who gave you that bread." The old beggar looked up calmly and said, "I knew God would provide. I just didn't know he'd use the devil to deliver it." The rich man froze. His pride melted. For the first time in his life, he felt something real, humility. That night, he knelt down in his mansion for the first time and prayed, "God, I mocked faith, but I saw you today." Moral of the story: when God decides to bless you, he can use anyone, even those who doubt him. Faith doesn't depend on what you see. It depends on who you believe. Comment yes if you believe in God. A young man prayed every day for God to bless him with a new job, but every time he went for interviews, people laughed at his torn shoes. He started to doubt God and said, "Lord, I serve you faithfully. Why do you let me be embarrassed?" One morning, he got ready for another interview. As he walked, one of his shoes completely tore apart. Angry and ashamed, he almost turned back, but something whispered in his heart, "Go anyway." So he kept walking barefoot. When he arrived, the company's director saw him and asked, "What happened to your shoes?" The young man told the truth. "They broke on the way, sir, but I didn't want to miss this chance." The director smiled and said, "I like your courage. We've been looking for someone who doesn't give up easily." He got the job that same day. Later, the director said, "When I saw your bare feet, I saw determination, not shame." Never let your broken moments stop your faith journey. Sometimes God tests your faith to show the world your strength. What story in the Bible reminds you of this?
They laughed when they saw him, a poor farmer, praying to clouds that didn't exist.
They sneered, praying to clouds that don't exist. His rich neighbors leaned against their golden fences, their wells deep, their barns full.
"Look at this fool praying to the sky. Do you really think anyone listening to you up there?"
Farmer walked to his cracked land. He planted his seeds, though the soil was dry as bone. The sun scorched everything around him, yet he kept working, whispering prayers with every handful of seed. His neighbors laughed louder. "Faith won't water your crops," they said. Still, he believed. "The same God who gives the seed," he said, "will send the rain." Weeks passed. The air stayed hot, the skies stayed empty, and the valley began to lose hope. But one morning, as the farmer was praying, a cool wind brushed across his face. He looked up, and for the first time in months, the sky was changing. Dark clouds rolled in, but strangely, they gathered only above his land. Thunder roared, and rain began to fall. Not across the valley, not on the rich men's wide estates, but only on the patch of earth where a poor man had believed. The neighbors came running. They watched in silence as the rain soaked his field, drop by drop, life returning to the soil. Their own land stayed dry, their wells still and empty. The farmer stood in the middle of the storm, tears mixing with the rain, and said softly, "I told you, my God hears the humble heart." Moral of the story: that season only his crops grew, and those who once mocked him came to him for food and found more than grain. They found faith. God defends those who trust him, even when mocked. When faith stands alone, heaven still listens.